stop right here. I'm gonna lift the catheter one more time. I'm gonna remove the car from underneath the seat, wash your toes. I'm gonna proceed and put the catheter in the middle woman. Again, please watch your stuff. Thank you. You may release. Everybody, please release.
Thank you, Paul. Return to the canopy.
I've ever heard mama.
Does anybody else want a folder before we begin? Some of you may have to share the. Here you go now.
As the Aron is lowered, we offer the following selected passages from text. The first from the book of Isaiah. And I'll offer the original Hebrew to be true to the text and follow it up with the English translation so it can be understood. This is from the book of Isaiah. Kol omer kra va'amar ma ekra, kol basar chatzir v'chol chasto ketzitza sadeh. Yavesh chatzir navel tzitz ki ruach Adonai nashva bo. Achen chatzir ha'am, yavesh chatzir navel tzitz ugdvar Eloheinu yakum leolam. A voice says, cry out, and I say, what shall I cry? All flesh is grass, and all its beauty is like the flower of the field. The grass withers, the flower fades when a wind of the Lord blows upon it. Surely the people are grass, the grass withers, the flower fades, but the word of our God shall endure forevermore. This is from the book of Isaiah, in particular for family and friends whose hearts are broken. Al tira ki imcha ani, al tishta ki ani Elohecha, himatzticha af azarticha, af temachticha b'min tzidki. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will sustain you through my power. Family and friends, as hard to believe as it is, we gather here together to bid farewell and pay final tribute to the departed soul of Reneé Brand, Rachalea Bas Chaim Yosef, who at the young age of 64 years was called to her eternal rest. The world to come this past Saturday, Shabbos Kodesh, September 23rd, the 8th day in the Hebrew month of Tishrei. Being here today is really unthinkable. It is unimaginable for many reasons, all of which I'm sure you are thinking or feeling. How could a 64-year-old, someone by today's standards, as a young person, have her life cut short and be recalled to heaven, leaving this world and leaving a grieving family with hearts broken and a profound sense of overwhelming sadness? And I'm more sorry than words could possibly describe to be here officiating at this service for a family that's had its share of sadness and loss. No one should have to endure the pain of the losses that the Brand family has sustained over these last few years. My recollections of somebody who is so magnificent, the patriarch of this family, my good friend Herb, somebody to whom we all looked up to. His goodness, his decency, and the role modelship that he displayed for family that learned well. Natalie, you and Herb created a teaching model that this isn't the time to be sitting back and probably feeling that pride. You're feeling other things. But you've done right by the next generation. Decent and good. Heartfelt. And I remember Herb's devotion and his love for you, Natalie. He was the epitome of a patriarch. The top of the family tree, shepping nachas, that joy and pleasure from the beautiful family that the two of you created and put in this world. And now here, sadness, heartbreak. That Shabbos of Herb's passing, and now another Shabbos. And I'm not sure, I'm not wise enough to understand the meaningfulness, the symbolism. Who's to say? But you may know there's a tradition that when a person goes on Shabbos, the neshama rests right away. I don't know who's to say not, and I hope there's some meaningful this. And for your family, when Herb was recalled to heaven the day before something so joyful, you just have to believe God has something in mind that we just don't get. We do our best to accept without fully understanding. And that's called faithfulness. And sometimes that's hard. And hearts are breaking, a profound sense of sadness. It tests one's faithfulness. We do the best we can. I believe, as do others, there's nothing as genuine and sincere as hearing those recollections from family members and friends, those who are the closest, when one has to say a final goodbye. And so we'll hear from a number of Renee's family members and those closest to her, one after the next, offering those tributes. And they'll do the best they can. At a time like this, tears are precious. You know the old saying that we don't cry over the proverbial spilled milk. There's a reason for it. Because tears are meant for something that is real. This is real. And the tears are kodesh. They are holy. Knowing that, we call first on Renee's brother Phil. Offer your words.
I first want to thank the rabbi and Robin for arranging their schedule so that they could be here with us today. I want to thank all of you for your love and support. I want to thank my wife, Lori, for her unconditional love. She and my sister were the two sisters they never had. They were to each other a sister they never had. Both of them having two younger brothers. And through everything, my wife just having lost her own father last month is such a gift. I really didn't know what to talk about today. I only knew that I wanted to say something. I have many memories of my sister, obviously, all great memories. I could talk about specific events and occurrences, like the time when I was 5 years old and I was at a neighbor's house and I drank lighter fluid. And I couldn't read. And I remember Reneé pronouncing the words lighter fluid. And she had the sense to go and tell an adult. And she saved me from who knows what. Many more memories. Taking judo class with Reneé. Reneé was very tough. A lot of you know she's very tough. She was very strong. In fact, at judo, she was strategic, she was fast, and she was strong. But up until the end, Reneé, she maintained her sense of humor, just like my Zadie, just like our Zadie, making little jokes, manipulating words into funny little sayings. I don't think I could be as brave and strong as Reneé. She was remarkable. I will love you forever and cherish our memories. I will honor you the best I can.
Thank you, Phil. You do that, and I know you will continue to do that. That is your nature. You will be the best brother going forward as well. We call on also another best brother. Call on Mark for your remarks at this time.
I want to share a collision I see of the past and the future, and then an observation. In the past, I think Philip's story about Reneé really says who she was. She was the fierce defender of this family. I see that in my puppies every day I walk them. I have a 2.5-year-old female dog, and she has a little brother, kind of like me. A little annoying thing that's always nipping at her backside, even to the point where I got in big trouble for actually landing teeth on the cheek. And I will forever see my childhood with Reneé through them. And then an observation. This morning, the weather looked awful. Heavy rains. And every one of you, this huge crowd, has come out through rain, hail, sleet, and snow, whatever it would be, to see Reneé, to see her, to her final rest. And Reneé would do anything she could to protect every one of these loved people that are here with her. And look what she did. She held back the rain. I love you, Reneé.
Thank you, Mark. Now call on Renee's sister that they didn't have but had with each other, Lori.
So Mark has his take. My take was she's laughing at us, and she made it rain. She's saying, you're going out there in that rain. But I was like, why would she do this to Natalie and Maria? Them she wouldn't do this to, i.e., the sun, not the sun, but the rain has stopped. So Reneé was my sister-in-law, but in my heart, she was my sister. I know she was very sick for 8 years. I was there when it first happened then. That woman fought. She fought hard. She was determined. I knew this was going to happen. I had to either read or not read. I went with her to Cleveland Clinic to see about her heart. I went to Loyola when we went to look for dialysis and for, sorry, I'm really losing it. For the kidney transplant. Always going to the doctor. Every time Reneé needed to go to the hospital, usually she'd pick the middle of the night. I'd get this phone call. You awake? I'm awake. I'm there. I'll be right there. Call 911. I'd always tell her, you gotta call 911 first, then call me. I can't do anything. She always, as stubborn as she was gonna do it her way. She'd wait till I got there. Is everybody okay? Okay, we're calling 911. This time something definitely was different. There wasn't the usual anxiety that there usually has been, and the scared and the worried. But ultimately, Reneé just kind of had this calmness about her. When Natalie had told her, I don't want you to die," Reneé said, "I don't want to die either. But it's okay, Ma. We all got to do it sometime." Steve got on the phone with her and said to her, I don't know what to say. And Reneé said, "I get it. Life sucks." On Friday, the two of us got a special moment. She kind of had a high before everything kind of went downhill. We talked, we laughed. In fact, I'm not too sure that after I left that she didn't get on her phone and order something from Amazon, which she was always doing. Gonna get to the bottom of that one. I realized that things were serious. When Reneé had the stent put in, I think it was Tuesday in early morning, the doctor, he didn't come out to talk to me. He said, "I'll meet you and talk to you in the ICU." And sure enough, he had put a stent, and he let her know just how sick she was. That, guys, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just going to read because my mind's all over the place here. So on Friday, yes, we were joking around. The doctor confirmed that things were really serious. He didn't mince words. The only thing I ever saw was her say, "Can I have something for the anxiety?" "Sure, we'll give you some Xanax. We'll give you some Evan. What do you want?" After that, she was pretty good. And she definitely was quiet, but she was talking with all of us. Early Saturday morning, things definitely had changed. Mark and I went in, met with the doctor, met with Reneé, and Reneé said, It's okay. I'm ready. It's not worth it for a couple days. I just want to be able to see all my loved ones and tell everybody how I felt." And it was funny because we were sitting around that day. There were 15 of us in the room. After Pearl had died, Reneé had told me that she was afraid of dying alone. She didn't want to be alone. That was her biggest fear. And we didn't plan this. It just was. There were 15 of us, family, friends, sitting around, everybody getting the chance to tell them how much they loved her and were going to miss her, but would always remember her. And she got to do the same with everyone else. The phone, the FaceTime, the calls were coming in, and Reneé took every single one of them and told everybody how much she meant to them and vice versa. The one thing you could say, it was sad, but that room was filled with love. She knew it. She was at peace when she left. She had made her peace with it. She was tired of fighting, and she put up a hell of a battle for 8 years. Reneé was short, but she was fierce. She was clearly the oldest sibling and always took charge. She was strong, loving, opinionated, kind, caring, warm, blunt, did not hold back with her words. She got that from Nat and Herbie. Always buying things for everyone, always the jokester even with the paramedics. This young kid, I swear he looked like he was 16, maybe he was 21. Renee's like, "I'm not flirting with you, seriously, you look like Doug Zeldin." "Doesn't he, Laura?" I'm like, "I wasn't in school with you, Reneé, I didn't know him." We got to the hospital. The nurse brings her eggs. She goes, "Excellent." I mean, always joking. Even her doctors came by to see her. Tana, who she was so close with, he deliberately came to tell her how much he loved her, appreciated her fight and determination, and wished her the best in the next life. Even in the end, Reneé was telling me what to do. Reneé had some big shoes to fill. Well, in all fairness, she did wear a 7.5, and I am only a 6. But that being said, I don't really want to walk in her shoes. I just want to follow her lead to take over. Reneé was not scared. I could tell she was tired and she was ready. Reneé was forever buying t-shirts, things from Natalie, from Maria, things we didn't need, but this might help, this might make things easier. The t-shirts, I'm like, we can't even wear all these t-shirts, Reneé. There's not enough days. Can I tell you, when I got home, first thing I did was put on a t-shirt. My grandson wore his little, "You are everything to me, and it's an everything bagel." We will keep these things. When we got home, She was always looking out again for Mom and for Maria, and she made sure to get that house. They bought the house. They were supposed to move a week ago, next week, which Reneé and Maria are going to move, but Reneé had it all planned. They were going to be the modern version of the Golden Girls. I will miss her terribly. Reneé was like my big sister. I talked or texted with her almost every day. She's always telling me what to do, and I'm not going to lie, there weren't times I didn't roll my eyes or disagree with her, but I also knew that I had her love and support, and she would stand by me and fight the world to help me get the things that I wanted, or her brothers, or her mom, Maria, her nieces and nephews. And all I can say, Reneé, is you better be smiling, you better be feeling good, and learning how to play pickleball, because when I get up there, we're going to play together. Love you with all my heart, sister.
Thank you, Lori. You spoke beautifully. No surprise. Call on next Maria for her remarks, for her recollections.
I don't think I really need a microphone because I have a loud mouth. Yeah. Just one quick thing. Dr. Tana, when he came into the hospital, he said, I have never had a patient in all my years that walked into every appointment dressed to the hilt like Reneé, like she was going out and she was coming to see me. And she did love Dr. Tana. I'm standing here in disbelief that we are doing an honor and a celebration for our friend Reneé. How do you put Reneé Brand deceased together? How do you say Reneé Brand is not going to be with us anymore physically? She has been the rock of the Brand family, and being said, never shy to call her loved ones for advice or to discuss family issues. Are you coming? Let's call the kids. Are you coming? They'll be there. She is now at peace and her body is at rest. Many have said to me, why did God do this? Is God mad? I said, no. God has helped her. She struggled for 8 years. Every time she bounced back, every time. And this time she said to me, which was a week ago Friday, she come downstairs. I go, Reneé, how you doing? Sorry, I feel like shit. Same day, different day. But really, my body's getting tired. And I knew something was different. I have to tell you, we screamed at each other a lot, many times, for many crazy reasons. And then we'd start laughing, so you laugh till you cry. And she'd say, Ree, head up. I got to keep my head up. And I'd say, Nay, let's call 911. And she said, no, not now. And then she'd go, sorry, Rhea. I said, sorry, Nay, it's okay. As we have shared many Jewish and Catholic holidays with her family and mine, and she has been the best Santa Claus helper anyone could be to the little ones in my family, starting in 1986, for our family and for Brunswick Corporation many, many years. And they all looked at her in awe. She'd come in through the front door and she'd make noise and jingle bells, and none of them knew it was her doing ho, ho, ho. Until one of them got a little smarter and she stopped. We shared grief and sorrow with passing of our family and friends. We've shared fun and laughs and so many happy occasions and events. of Renee's life. And now we are mournful of Renee's life ending, but we are here, please, to celebrate the continuation of her life with us. The Brand family and I are so proud and blessed. I can't believe she didn't die alone, and she's not being buried with no one near her. And we're here to always remember her. And I have to tell you, there's one very special little girl, her best buddy, who is really feeling her sadness and emptiness in the house, Isabella. I wanted to bring her, but I think she'd bark. I have so many wonderful family and friends here and abroad who have been with Reneé and I through all our roads. And there will be a void in all of our hearts, but healing will take care of that. Time will heal it. You will always be missed, my best friend. And I love you, Reneé. And thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Maria. Again, words from the heart. Next, we'll call on Camilla for her remarks and recollections.
Hi, I'm Camila. I'm Maria's cousin and Renee's cousin. We loved Reneé. And on behalf of the Compiani family and the Riley family, I would like to extend our condolences to you and to all of you on the loss of our beautiful Reneé. Although she was not born into our family by blood, she was brought in by God and by Maria. Our lives are forever changed by Renee's presence. We will never be the same without her. Mrs. Brand, you raised the most beautiful, wonderful, kind, caring, loving woman. She fit into our family like a glove. She always got our jokes. I have no idea how, but it was just meant to be that she was with us. We are proud to have known her and to call her our cousin, our sister, our niece, and our friend. My mom extends her condolences. She's not well. She could not be here today. And she said to mention that Reneé sat next to her at all of our family functions at our home. And she's sad that she couldn't be here today, and she'll miss her presence at our family functions. Eternal rest grant unto Reneé, O Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon her. May she rest in peace. I love you, Reneé, with all my heart and soul. My heart is broken today.
Thank you, Camila, for your heartfelt remarks and recollections. Next, to call on Judy for her remarks.
I am Judy Zalisco, retired Vice President of Tax from Brunswick Corporation, where Reneé worked for over 38 years. She and I started at Brunswick in the same class in 1978. Reneé began her career in the payroll area of the company's bowling center division, where she held positions in payroll, including she was a union girl, I guess, because she headed up the union desk, a field service payroll person, the Canadian payroll, and finally the payroll group leader. I noticed and recognized Renee's can-do attitude, her strong work ethic, organizational skills, and attention to detail, and recruited her to the corporate tax department in 1985 after she had been with the Bowling Center operating unit for 7 years. Over the next 22 years, Reneé performed a number of corporate tax roles of increasing responsibility, including state and local tax associate, federal tax specialist, senior tax specialist. During her time in the tax department, I encouraged Reneé to pursue a college degree. The company would help finance her education, and she would as well. It was not easy working long hours in the tax department while going to college part-time, but Reneé was determined, studied late into the evenings and on weekends when she was not in class, at night or on Saturdays. She did this for over 3 years. She often took vacation time to study for exams or to complete a group project. I was beaming with pride for Reneé's accomplishment when I attended her graduation and saw her walk down the aisle to receive her degree in accounting from Elmhurst College. She set a goal and achieved it. What an accomplishment. In June of 2007, Reneé joined the Human Resource Department as the manager of payroll and accounting, which was a tough job because no one tells you did a great job this week in getting out the payroll taxes right before because they always expect payroll taxes to be accurate and the accounting for it to be exact. You only hear negative comments if there has been a mistake or a misstep. Reneé's payroll and tax expertise, her professionalism, and organizational skills combined resulted in significant contributions and improvements to the corporate payroll tax function soon after her arrival. On the lighter side, Reneé was extra busy around the Christmas holidays because she not only did her regular work, but would don her red Santa suit, and you could hear her ho, ho, ho echo in the hallways as she walked the corridors bestowing little gifts and plenty of holiday good cheer through the offices of Brunswick in Lake Forest. She loved decorating for the holidays. It fit with her happy and pleasant attitude. After Reneé retired from Brunswick in early 2017 for medical reasons, she would still make an effort to join us for our annual tax department luncheons, celebrating the completion of the company's annual federal income tax return, where all the department retirees were invited to join in the festivities, with an opportunity to stay in touch, reminisce, and just catch up with current and former colleagues. Reneé was always smiling when I saw her. In fact, her tax department fellow retirees and I and her current colleagues saw Reneé on August 22nd, just about a month before she left us. I asked her how she was doing when we talked, and she replied, "Judy, I'm still ticking." She had a big heart, was warm, and always walked around to all the tables to talk with each person at the luncheon. She had a zest for life. And people for which she fought. And she fought that good fight for over 7 years to enjoy more happy days. Sadness engulfs us today for a life lost, but we feel joy for the life she lived and imparted to others. May her memory be your blessing. We will miss you, Reneé, but we are better for having worked with you and known you. May you forever feel well and be comfortable and continue smiling down on us, because we will always remember your smile and happy face. Thank you so much.
you, Judy. With all that has been said, all which has been shared, there should be no doubt the unforgettable life of Reneé Brand Rafalea Bas Chaim Yosef will long be remembered and spoken about often with respect, with appreciation, and with admiration. We ask Almighty God to send a measure of healing and comfort to Renee's loving family members, friends, who will forever recall with love and devotion her sister, her daughter, friend, companion, and loving family member. To all the other family members and friends whose lives were touched by Reneé, who are so much better off for having known her. We say in the Hebrew, Tehei nishma sa tzuror b'tzor achayim. May her dear departed soul be bound up in the bonds of eternal life, and together we say, Amen. I offer at this time the Mizmor LeDavid, the 23rd Psalm. I'll chant first in the original Hebrew and follow it up with English translation. Mizmor LeDavid, Adonai roi lo esor, binos tesheyar bitzeni, amei menuchos shenaleini, nafshi yeshoveh, nafshi yeshoveh, yancheni v'magle tzedek, Leman Shemo, Yam Ki Elech, Begates Almoves, Lo Irara, Hiatar Imadi, Shivtecha, Umishantecha, Shivtecha, Umishantecha, Emo Yenachamuni, Tarok Lefonai Shulchan, Tarok Lefonai Shulchan, Tarok Lefonai Shulchan, Neged Tzorevai, Dishantov Hashem en Roshi, Dishantov Hashem en Roshi, Dishantov Hashem en Roshi, Osi shepherd, I shall not want. As we lie down in green pastures, he leads me beside the still waters. He guides me in paths of righteousness. He revives my soul for the sake of his glory. I walk in the valley of the shadow of death. I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your staff and your rod comfort me. You set a table in the sight of my enemies. You anoint men with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall abide in the house of the Lord forevermore. Unfortunately for this family, you're familiar with this tradition, and all those who are assembled who are loved ones, either by blood or by heartfelt strings. You know the tradition, the custom of coming forward and putting a shovelful of earth into the grave. This is an act of kindness, a chesed shel emes, the highest form of kindness, because here and now, Reneé cannot pay you back. You do this act, allowing her neshama, her soul, to ascend heavenward, shepherd. Together she's with Herb, whom we all miss terribly. And he'll take good care of her. She'll take good care of him. And we do this act of kindness because acts of kindness do not need a reciprocal act and a favor. She can't pay you back here and now, and you do it because you're good and decent people, and you do the kind and compassionate thing without any expectation of a return favor. Before you come forward to do so, I'm going to include this earth from Eretz Israel, gathered at the base of the Mount of Olives. And that's very meaningful. I hope it's meaningful. I don't know if it's comforting here and now, but the idea is we believe with our whole hearts that on God's calendar we'll all be together again. That sometime in the future, God chooses, if we've lived our lives according to goodness and decency, and we're surrounded with good and decent people, that on God's calendar, starting in the land of Israel, starting in Jerusalem, and starting at the Mount of Olives, where we take the soil from that earliest place of the return to life, which is spread all over the world, for all people of all denominations, all faiths, that we'll be together once again at a time of what we expect and hope and we rely on to be a joyful family reunion. I will include this in the grave. And again, the act of kindness that you'll participate in if you're comfortable. Not everyone is, and if you're not, while I can't tell you how to feel, there are other ways we pay our respects. So if putting a shovel full of earth in the grave is not something with which you are comfortable, don't beat yourself up to force yourself or feel guilty if you don't. There are those other ways to show respect. There's no magic number. If you put in 3, or some who feel that's important, 7, 10. If you put in a single full, shovelful, you have done that act of kindness. And then I would ask you not to hand the shovel to the next person for a very simple reason. If it's this act of kindness I've spoken of, each person will want to have been credited with having performed the act of kindness from start to finish, with having done this act of compassion. If you forget, you just do the polite thing, you hand the shovel to the next person, you've done nothing wrong. And when everyone has had an opportunity to put in their shovelfuls of earth, we'll conclude the service with the final prayer of the Kaddish. And at any time, you can have multiple people putting in shovelfuls of earth. There's no disrespect. Begin with family first. You can line up behind the pails here.
For those who didn't sign in, we are going to put the register back up maybe over here in just a few moments.
You're
Together
no,
we
okay.
recite the Kaddish. Yiskadal, Yiskadash, Yemei Rabbah, Yolamad, Yivrach, Yerusei, Yamlik, Mapusei, V'chai Echon, U'yom Echon, U'v'chai D'chol Beis Yisrael, Ha'galah, V'zman Kori, V'imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach, L'olam, Olam Elnaya, Yisbarach, Yishtabach, Yisbar, Yisramam, Yisnasei, Yisadar, Yisalem, Yisallah, Shmei Dekudisha, Brichu, La'ela, Min Kol, Berchasa, V'shirasa, Tushbechasa, V'nechamasa, Da'amiram, V'yoma, V'yimu, Amen. Yehei Shlama, Rabba, Min Shamayim, V'chayim Aleinu, V'al Kol Yisrael, V'yimu, Amen. Says Shalom, B'ramav, Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu, V'al Kol Yisrael, V'yimu, Amen. Wishing the family well, and the family has expressed desire to continue to fill in, all to do it by hand in the most meaningful and intimate way. So for those of you who would like to continue to participate, this would be a time to line up once again.